the Radio King YouTube channel. Subscribe.
Danger. It's danger.
Everybody come to the Breakfast Club. I call this the hot seat.
Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild. Can I live?
You are out of control. I can't even deal with you.
Y'all are so petty. Why are y'all so petty?
The world's most dangerous morning show. DJ Envy.
Captain of this bitch.
Angela Yee.
I stay in everybody's business, but in a good way.
Charlamagne the God.
The ruler rubbing you the wrong way.
The Breakfast Club.
Ain't for everybody.
Good morning, USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Good morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning, DJ Envy.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Friday.
Yes, it's Friday.
Absolutely. March 9th. What did Cannabis say? The greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th.
That's right.
One of the greatest rappers of all time. You know, I wouldn't have a problem if you got him at number one, but the Notorious B.I.G., rest in peace to him.
Yes, right.
What else today? Oh, Wrinkle in Time comes
Wrinkle
out
in
today.
Time's out. Yeah, speaking of Wrinkle in Time, Ava DuVernay will be joining us this morning.
Drop one of Clues Bombs for Queen Ava DuVernay, damn it.
Well, that makes sense.
This is the second time I've interviewed Ava DuVernay. I interviewed Ava last summer at the BET Genius Talks. Yeah, but she's here on the Breakfast Club this morning.
And we'll be kicking with her.
Absolutely.
I got my power back finally. Did you lose power in Jersey? Or no.
Nope.
I lost power, man. And my generator didn't kick in. I bought a generator after Sandy. When Sandy hit, we were out for like 3-4 days without power. So I bought a generator and I never checked it. I never tested it since Sandy, and I should have tested it because it didn't work. So I was out for power for 2 days. So as soon as power came back on, it was great to get heat again.
Well,
I bet it was.
It was great to get heat again.
I know for a fact America's on autopilot because the town next to my town was completely out of power. And so, like, there's this one street. I was taking my daughter to cheerleading practice yesterday, and it's just one street where, like, every traffic light was out, and there was no cops there directing traffic.
It's just go every man for himself.
Every man for themselves, every woman for themselves. That's how I know America is completely on autopilot.
Yeah, I'm surprised. My kids had school off Wednesday, Thursday, and today they don't have any school.
Oh, my
Must
daughter,
be nice.
my daughter too. She ain't got no school because the school ain't got no power.
The school has no power?
Yeah, school had no power too.
No,
That's
man.
crazy.
America's on autopilot.
It's pretty crazy.
That never ever happened to me.
No? Well,
That we never lost power at school, nothing like that.
nah, never
Not
happened
once.
when I was a kid either.
Well,
But
because when we were kids, they had candles. So it
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
matter. They
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
have
you're
power.
right.
They
You're right.
never had power to lose, sir. It was
You're
candles.
Right. You're right.
Okay?
All right, well, let's get the show cracking. Front page news, what we talking about, Yee?
Well, let's talk about this whole drama with your president, Donald Trump, and Stormy Daniels, the porn star who is now filing a lawsuit. She wants to go ahead and not take that and talk. She wants to talk.
Nobody cares about that. Donald Trump then threw the ultimate deflection.
She wants to talk.
And
Nobody cares.
And is Trump meeting with Kim Jong-un?
Exactly.
We're going to talk about that too this
as
morning.
soon as the porn
It's a
thing
lot of
comes
Trump.
out, he throws this
It's
out
a lot
to
of Trump talk
deflect.
this morning.
Nobody cares about Stormy Daniels right now.
All right, well, we'll get to that when we come back. And don't forget, Ava DuVernay will be joining us, so keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, let's talk your president, Donald Trump, Yee.
Yeah, so Donald Trump, now there's some issues, and I've been reading all about Stormy Daniels. She's a pornographic film actress, and she says she had an affair with President Trump, and she got some hush money, $130,000 payout, and it was an agreement that she signed in 2016 to keep silent. Okay, now she is suing in order to say that that was not actually a legal contract that she signed. Part of that is they used fake names. So Donald Trump used the name, I think it was David Dennison, and she had the name Peggy Peterson. And so she's now saying that that signature, those aliases, are not going to hold up in court. They're also saying that $130,000 payout was effectively a contribution to Donald Trump's campaign that should have been reported to the commission.
Well, what's the point of this story? President Trump likes poom poom. We know this already.
But it would mean that he lied and he could be forced to testify in depositions. If this does go through, they might have to reveal things on both sides.
Nothing's gonna happen to him anyway.
Nothing. Teflon Don. That's light. That's light work. He already deflected. He already deflected with the Kim Jong-un story.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about that Kim Jong-un story. Now, Donald Trump has accepted an offer to meet with Kim Jong-un. Here is what South Korea's national security advisor had to say.
I told President Trump that in our meeting, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said he is committed to denuclearization. Kim pledged that North Korea will refrain from any further nuclear or missile tests.
I'll be honest with you. I need the subtitles. I don't know what he said just now.
They're not gonna meet.
In other words, he accepted the invitation to meet with Kim Jong-un at a place and time to be determined. So that's the plan now. Even though the two of them have been going back and forth with the insults nonstop, somehow, some way, I guess they've decided to sit down.
Where did they meet though? Did they meet in America? Did they meet in South Korea?
Nah, they got to meet somewhere like in the middle, safe
South
place.
Korea? Maybe I don't know. Where did they meet? Like, did they meet in a neutral location?
Well,
Definitely have to be neutral.
They're going to decide that. They haven't determined what that place is going to be yet. So.
Well, I'm not mad at diplomacy. I would rather have them sit and work things out instead of threatening and throw nukes at each other. My question is, will Dennis Rodman be there?
Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
All right. In addition, in just a couple of weeks, you can expect these tariffs to take place, and that is on steel imports. 25% tariff on steel imports and 10% on aluminum, except for Canada and Mexico. So that's going to happen in 15 days. And a lot of companies will be affected. A lot of U.S. companies are going to be affected by these tariffs. In other words, beer cans. They're going to be more expensive because the tariffs will be in effect. Auto part manufacturers, Boeings, Caterpillars, construction equipment, Campbell's Soup Company, craft breweries. There's a lot of companies that are going to be affected that are American companies. Ford, General Electric, General Motors, oil companies, Whirlpool, all of those.
They're saying expect
companies.
a war. They're saying countries outside are going to be putting tariffs on their stuff as well. So
yes,
trading's
U.S.
gonna be
allies
difficult,
are upset now with these tariffs. So they're saying it will be an economic disaster, but it's also a security disaster for us. We want to build our ships. We want to build our planes with steel and aluminum from our country, according to Donald Trump. So he says this has been a long overdue problem.
See, Wakanda don't have this problem. Wakanda
Nope.
got vibranium. You know what I'm saying? They got the market cornered on the most precious metal in the world.
Oh my goodness! All right,
Drop on the clues bombs for Wakanda. Always one step ahead of the curve. Okay?
all right.
And by the way, the only storm we acknowledge today is Storm Reed from Wrinkle in Time. Okay? Not Stormy Daniels.
All right. Well, that's front page news. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you're upset, you need to vent, hit us up right now. Maybe you need to vent, you could call us up. Or if you just want to spread some positivity, you could tell them why you're blessed. 800-585-1051 is the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Zan, man. Lil Zan Fire, man.
Who the hell is Lil Zan, man?
Lil Zan, the kid you gave Donkey today yesterday.
Oh, what about him?
He just left his own opinion, man. Come on,
I
bro.
mean, listen. You gotta
listen to half the music he come out with. Far, Betrayed.
He didn't give it to him.
I don't care. I didn't give him Donkey today because of his music, though. I mean, listen, you can have an opinion, but your opinion can be dead wrong. You do know that, right? Like, it's one thing to say you think Tupac's music is boring. Cool. Music is subjective. But to say that Tupac is number 2 on the clout scale, do you know what the word clout means, sir?
Yeah, he wrong for that, though.
But
That's why he got Donkey today.
Yeah, but he wrong for that. He was wrong for that at the end of the day, but still, you got to give his music at least a try, man. Don't just say
I don't know what's about his...
It wasn't about his music. It was
His
about
music.
what he said.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm OD'd on Littles right now. I like Lil Uzi because I've seen him perform. He's a great performer, and I was listening to Lil Yachty this morning.
You like Lil Wayne?
But that's old school. Lil Wayne, Lil Jon, that's my era. The new Littles, I got a feel on those right now. Lil Uzi and Lil Yachty, that's as far as I go.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's T calling from the D.
Hey, mama, get it off your chest.
I'm mad because I hate when you have a personal friend and you guys have an issue, and instead of them calling you, they put it out on Facebook. It just makes me so mad.
Yeah, that's
That is
corny.
true.
That's kind of corny.
Pick up the phone and call me if we really cool, bro.
Exactly. I woke up to this morning to a Facebook status about me. Like, why didn't you just call me? You supposed to be my best friend for 15 years.
But you sure you're not being sensitive? I know sometimes people see Facebook posts like, I know they talking about me, but it ain't really about
Was it
you.
subliminal?
Yeah, it was.
So maybe it's not even about
It might
you.
not be about you.
I'm her only bestie. Like,
And I will say this, the subliminals you think are about you say a lot about you.
That's true. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you're upset, you need to vent, hit us up.
This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
So you better have the same energy.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning. This is Angel. I'm calling from Richmond, Virginia.
Hey, Angel, get it off your chest, mama.
Yes, DJ Envy. I'm actually upset with you today
Why you mad at me, mama?
because, I know that today is Biggie's death anniversary, but my thing is, it is also Bow Wow's birthday. I want to hear a little Bow Wow mix today.
Name 5 Bow Wow songs, and I'll get some Bow Wow on for you, mama.
I can't do 5. Okay, Take You Home.
Wow.
Look at you. You want a Bow Wow mix.
That is a shame. You can't even do a Bow Wow mix.
And it's not Biggie's fault.
No, come on, that was my first love. We have to get at least 2 Bow Wow songs in a mix.
Yeah, but ain't nobody told Bow Wow to be born on the day Biggie died.
No.
Ain't nobody told Bow to do that.
Come on now, just 2 songs.
I love Bow, but I can't mix Bow Wow and Biggie.
Bow should.
Okay, can we get like a little Bow Wow song, like throughout the day?
How about we give you a little bark right now?
You know what? I'll take it.
All right. Man, thank you,
y'all. Have a good day.
Bow Wow should have been born on the 8th. Bow Wow should have been born on the 8th or the 10th.
Oh my goodness. Hello, who's this?
Hey man, what's going on? Mr. Rashad calling from Texas. I'm mad about this aluminum tariff tax situation. Man, we get the lower income beer companies have to buy aluminum, and that will put them out of business if they have to raise the price on their beer to the American people.
I don't think people care what they drink beer out of, sir.
I mean, they would when a regular pack of beer was $10 one day and it's $15 the next for a 12-pack.
But they can buy it in a bottle.
Bottles are more expensive than cans.
Oh, they gonna drink. The aluminum, everybody gonna really be affected when they go over to somebody's house for a nice little cookout or something, and there ain't nothing to wrap up the barbecue you want to take home because it's too expensive. That's when people really gonna feel it.
No fall.
There you go.
You know what we do, Charlamagne? We bring our own damn Tupperware to our bar. We smart Negroes.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you, bro.
All right, man. Bye.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you're upset, you need to vent, hit us up right now. We got rumors on the way?
Yes, we'll talk about Rick Ross. We'll give you an update on how he's doing. And they've also released the 911 call, which sounded pretty scary. Also, who is Apple Music's most streamed woman? Well, we'll tell you who's number 1 on that list.
All right, we'll get into all that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, guys. It's a Friday.
Hey, it is.
Quick question before we get to the rumors.
Talk to me.
What's your favorite B.I.G. joint?
Favorite Biggie song ever? Probably My Downfall.
That's one of my favorites.
I don't have a favorite. I mean,
it's hard because the vibes are different.
What about you, Yee?
Like, of course, I Got a Story to Tell.
I like the original One More Chance. Not the remix, the original. When it comes to sex, some similar to the Thriller of Manila. Honey's Call Me Bigger.
The kind of filler.
Yeah, I like that.
I still...
A bunch of big joints. What's beef?
Who shot you?
Yeah, who shot you?
All right, I just said a couple. Goodness gracious. All right.
Of course, I like the song with him and Little Kim. What do you do when your man is untrue?
I'm gonna be honest
with you. Cut the...
Never like that record.
I like that song.
I need... All right, anyway, let's get to the rumors. Let's talk the most streamed female artists.
Listen up.
This just in. All the gossip. The Rumor Report. Gossip. With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
Well, Apple Music, in honor of International Women's Day yesterday, released a list of the top 20 most streamed women. And guess who was number 1 on the list?
Let me guess. I would say the brand of that mayonnaise is Swift.
She's number 2, actually.
Really?
Beyonce's number 3. Rihanna's number 1.
Yeah!
Drop one of clues bombs for Rihanna, damn it. That's island spices right there, not mayonnaise.
Coming in at number 4 was Ariana Grande, and Adele was number 5.
Adele is a big job mayonnaise.
Stop it. All right, enough's enough, man.
Stop saying that. All right, enough. Rick Ross, that 911 call before he went to the hospital has been released. It's a male caller calling from Rick Ross's Miami house, and here's how it went.
I need an ambulance here, ASAP. He was throwing up, looked like I know he done had seizures before. He took his medicine. He's not breathing right. He's in and out. He's been shaking real bad. He already was vomiting, and he was going up a little light blood and stuff. Ma'am, he just passed.
He passed out?
No, he booed on himself.
Why are 911 calls made public?
I was thinking the same thing. Why would they release those things?
And why is that lady on the phone talking about, say what now? But I gotta repeat myself after I told you everything that's happening to my man.
Well, he posted, "Ain't nothing like home. I love y'all." So glad to see that he is home and hopefully feeling better. They're saying it was an undisclosed heart complication. And that's a scary situation, though, when you have to make a call like that, and if all of those things are happening and you don't know what's going on, and that person has had a history of seizures.
I'm mad. I shouldn't have to hear that. Like, that should be personal. They shouldn't release those.
I don't see the point of it. Like, I have yet to see the point.
Not at all.
Are all 911 calls made public?
Yes.
All right.
I think unless it's involved with a child, I believe.
Now, Chris Brown versus Vanessa Carlton. How did this even happen? First, Chris Brown posted Mood, this song lit forever, and he put this song up.
Making my way downtown.
This is my song.
Faces fast and I'm homebound.
All right. Well, Vanessa Carlton was not too happy about it. She posted, today Chris Brown posted my video. I am now being repeatedly tagged to his account. Being that today's International Women's Day, I feel compelled to draw a line. I support survivors, not perpetrators of domestic violence. I do not want to be associated with an artist that has assaulted women on a day like today. Thank you.
I thought that was a reach, man. Vanessa Carlton, you can't pick and choose who likes and buys your music and shares your music.
Yeah, that was whack.
And if there's anyone who should be showing love to women, it's Chris Brown. Like, he should definitely be showing people that he's grown and he's evolved and that he loves women.
Yeah, so
I thought that was a reach on her part. It wasn't that serious.
That was a tough one. And he simply posted a part of the song playing on White Chicks, and he captioned it, I love this song. And then he said to Vanessa Carlton, I posted a song that was and still is a great song, and the artist felt she was doing her duty as a woman to continue to spread this kind of hatred today. I won't keep it up long. I just hope she knows she is loved and her song is great.
Yeah, and Chris never lied about the domestic violence. He made a mistake. He said he made a mistake, right?
Right, yeah. She could have just left that one alone.
It was a reach. It was a reach.
But also, I can't tell her how to react to anything, so she reacted how she reacted,
What if Chris Brown would reply with a bunch of fist emojis?
Stop it, man. Why you on one today, man?
What are you talking about?
Anyway, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
Oh, you meant Black Power? That's what you meant?
No, I'm just thinking about all the possible great news scenarios. That's what my mind be.
You know what?
Ways that could have went left?
Yes.
You know what? When we come back, Ava DuVernay will be joining us.
Drop one of Clues bombs for Queen Ava DuVernay. A Wrinkle in Time is in theaters today. I keep telling y'all it's the perfect daddy-daughter date. You should take your daughters to go see it, fathers, this weekend. But I cannot wait to build with Ava DuVernay. I interviewed her before, though. I interviewed her last year.
Okay.
Last summer at the BET Genius Talks. But she's a phenomenal person. She makes me want to be a better human being.
All right. We'll kick it with her when we come back. Don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We have a special guest in the building.
And this is really a special guest. Envy says special guest for everybody, but this really is a special guest.
Ava DuVernay.
Queen Ava DuVernay.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Welcome.
How y'all doing?
How's everything? Now, we see you had a lot of people, but it's okay. Cause
no, I know. I walked in here like, I'm about to do a concert tomorrow.
We heard you're a rapper, so you have a posse with you. So it's understood.
Yes.
We have to make sure she's not in here to threaten us. Nobody said anything.
I'm just gonna walk out in the middle and just,
We in this moment, this black renaissance in TV and film. Where does Wrinkle fit into all of that?
Wrinkle is a big part of it. Like, I was just out in LA with just beautiful right now, Lena Waithe and Issa and Ryan Coogler and Angela Bassett and I mean, you look at all the shows, Underground and Queen Sugar and Insecure and Lena's show and
Shy.
Yep.
The Shy and Mara Brock Akil's got a new show coming out called Love Is, which is really cool. And it's just film as well and television. Barry Jenkins has another film coming out. Steve McQueen has another film coming out. He did 12 Years a Slave. But the bottom line is you can count all those people in two hands. You know? And so while we are kind of in a moment where we can all see each other, there needs to be a lot more. And, it's really, when you talk about Brown, you're not seeing, enough attention paid to Latino creators, Asian creators. You ain't never seen no Native American people. What do they see on TV? Nothing. So I that's part of this film, is trying to show as many people as possible, because we think we aren't seeing those representations, but imagine everyone else. There's just a lot more to do.
Now let's go back.
Yeah,
how did you get into directing in films?
I didn't pick up a camera until I was 32, which is really old in director years.
Unless
like
you're
dog
gifted,
years.
though.
Well, I didn't go to film school, so it was really improbable that I would ever have made it. See, Ryan Coogler, who's a great friend of mine who directed Black Panther, is 31. He's on his third film.
Right.
I didn't pick up a camera till I was 32.
And what gave you that to pick up a camera?
I was just trying it out, just playing with it. I was on these sets. I was a publicist, so I was a publicist for other filmmakers, and I would be on the sets, never with a woman, never with a black person, and was watching people direct, and I can do that. I feel like I can do it. I never thought it would be living from it. I just picked up a camera to enjoy it for myself, see what I can make. And I just kept making things.
You know what
kept
I
making
think
things.
is great? Even your background doing PR.
Yeah.
And being on sets and everything, that's just helpful for when you did decide to do it, because having that skill to be able to do PR for someone else's movie, imagine trying to do that for yourself.
Yeah.
And having those connections already in place too, it kind of all fits together.
Yeah, I didn't make as many connections, but what I did was I was watching them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tell people, if you can't go to film school or you can't afford it or you're older and you don't want to go back, just get yourself on a set so you can observe, because that's really, film school. I was able to stand close to directors. I didn't go to film school, but I was able to stand close to directors on sets and watch what they did right and wrong. Mm-hmm. Most of what I learned was what I don't want to do. Mm-hmm. Yelling at people, being unorganized, So it was a good school, but it was just a different route.
Your story is interesting, though, because, a lot of people always come in here and they be like, I knew I always wanted to be a director.
Oh, right.
But you did PR, you did journalism, you ran a blog. Were any of those things your passion?
I never thought that I could be a director. I didn't even know, first of all, that ladies could be a director. I mean, really, in my mind, I didn't see anybody doing it at that time. Now I know there were amazing black women filmmakers doing it, but at the time, only black director I feel like I knew it was Spike Lee and John Singleton. And they just felt super, they're guys. So it wasn't something as a little girl I looked up to. So that's why when I have the Barbie in my likeness with the director's chair, or now black girls and brown girls know directing is a possibility, right? They see Patty Jenkins and do Wonder Woman, they see it. So, I believe in if you see it, you can be it.
Yeah, because it's interesting to be the first for yourself. The first woman to direct a film with a budget over $100 million, the first black woman to do something like that. It feels like, why is it 2018?
I know people say those things like it's a source of pride. I know it's a source of pride for some people, but for me, it's like, for the industry, aren't y'all embarrassed that it's 2018? They'll say it when I walk out on a stage, and it's like, you might want to keep that on the low, that it's 2018 and this is just now happening. So yeah, it's a bittersweet thing when I hear it, because I know it wasn't any of my doing. It's only because the industry decided to pay attention to somebody right now, and I happen to be here. There's amazing black women filmmakers been doing this forever.
But people really love you. I was on a flight with you coming from New Orleans. And
you was in first class, he was in
Why didn't you say hello?
No, we were all in first class, and I didn't know who you were.
Okay, well that's why.
No.
Why is everyone talking to her?
But everybody kept coming up to you and they kept complimenting, yo, you're so nice, this, that, and the. Amari was on the flight. It was a bunch of actors, A level, B level, C levels. It was everybody on that flight was just so complimentary about who you were and how you were such a pleasure to work with. And you don't usually get that from everybody. And I was just a fly on the wall just listening. And I was like, that's pretty dope. She must be an amazing person.
That's nice to hear. Thank you for that.
Piggybacking off him, how do you feel about being a celebrity director? Because you're a director, but you're also a star. You won Entertainer of the Year at the NAACP Awards. That doesn't happen for every director. So how do you feel about the fame side of it?
I think it's a new piece of it. Maybe I just feel the last year actually, where and so it's different, but you
made some incredible things happen. The fact that you got Sade to do that incredible song.
I know.
Sade of all people.
Oh, you want to tell you how it happened?
Please.
Okay. So Disney said, who would you like to do the song? And this is before I'd even, shot any of it. And I said, well, you're not going to be able to get who I want. And they were like, well, who? I said, Sade. And they're like, yeah, we probably won't. But we can get you an address. We can get a letter to her through the manager to the direct, country home in London address.
An old school letter?
Old school handwritten letter.
Not even an email?
No. Nothing. So I did an email too, but I also sent an actual letter. I think she got the email because, anyway, I put 3 days into this email, and first I sounded like, oh my gosh, I love you, you're the soundtrack of my life. Then I said, oh, let me be cool, I've got a film, I was rewriting it 9 times. It's Sade. So anyway, I sent her the letter, and literally within 24 hours, she called me.
She knew who you were.
She knew who I was, and she called me, and it was her voice saying human words on the phone into my actual ear.
What did she say?
Her speaking voice. It sounds like her singing voice. It was her. It was smoky and husky, and she was so sweet.
Wow.
And she was beautiful, and she called me a queen, and she said she loved Selma, and she really cared about the script and the movie, and she wanted to make the story about this girl, and that she would do it.
I'm going to be honest. If I already threw my shot at Oprah and she became my best friend, I would feel like I could be friends with anybody.
You could do anything in the world.
Sade should have been light work.
Well, I was lucky. Yeah. So we had a really, really nice collaboration. She wrote the song before we even shot the movie. Mm-hmm. So we put her lyrics from the song into the dialogue of the characters, which is a kind of like the backwards way to do it. Usually the song comes at the very, very end. Mm-hmm. So anyway, she was great to work with, and we've kept in great touch. I had a cold, and she sent me like herbs and fruits and berries, and like you know, I think she's very.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you look that way, because you're like, don't put crap in your body. So anyway, she's sweet.
All right, we have more with Ava DuVernay when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We have Ava DuVernay in the building. Charlamagne?
Now you were.
Take a breather, and I've known him for a long time, and he's just a really good friend of mine.
You threw the alley to Ryan though. Like you the one who recommended Ryan for Black Panther, right?
I don't know if I recommended him. It was like a really short list, because when you look at that space, like coming off of Creed, you know, the studios are looking at who's made films that, you know, that have been successful, that you could tell they can handle the next film at the next budget level. And so, I mean, it's a pretty short list, because there's not a lot of us making films. I mean, like I said, on two hands. So yeah, no, he was just coming off of Creed at that time, and I don't know, it was just a perfect film for him. I really felt like a black man should have made that film. I felt strongly that that film needed to be made by a brother, because that was the central focus of it. So it happened, and it was fantastic.
That's what I love about you. Like, you're so unapologetically black, you're so unapologetically woman. Like, you'll go in these rooms and say, no, this need to be a black woman directing, this need to be a black guy directing. Do they ever get mad at you? Like, they ever call you biased or anything?
I mean, maybe behind my back, but gotcha. You know, not to my face. You know.
How did A Wrinkle in Time come across your desk?
Oh gosh, it was really lovely, because they called me, and a lot of times in Hollywood they want you to come in kind of pitching and begging and asking. That's the way that it's kind of set up. And this one I was invited and welcomed into something that they wanted to do. So there's a brother over there, Tendo Ngenda, and he called me and said, look at this script. And I'd never read the book. And he said, imagine the worlds that you can build. I was like, worlds? He's like, yeah, this girl hops planets. I was like, hops planets? How? He was like, Ava, read it. I was reading it, and I was just like, this is dope. You know what I mean? It's a young black girl. It was a young girl. We made her black. But a young girl who hops planets and fights the darkness and flies and saves the universe. And she's not a superhero. She's not a Jedi. She's just a girl.
I'm excited about this. I have 3 young daughters. Well,
How old are they?
I have a 16-year-old and a 4-year-old. The 1-year-old can't go, but the 4-year-old is 16. I'm gonna take him this week, and we're excited about it.
I tell everybody it's the perfect daddy-daughter date.
It is.
I flew to LA to go to the premiere, so my daughter could see it and meet Ava, of course.
Yes.
But it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good because it's a whole thing. It's about a father-daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I keep asking my daughter. Well, I don't want to give the movie away.
Were you nervous about the?
Will you come and look for me?
Yes.
Would you come and look for me? That's what everybody says. Well, everybody knows the story is about this father. It's really this absentee father. That's one of the reasons why, to be honest with you.
Not a black absentee father.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I did it that way.
Okay.
Right? And so he's gone, and she's got to go look for him, but he's out in the universe, so she got to go from planet to planet to find him. So all the dads are like, would you come look for me?
Would you come look for me?
What'd your daughter say?
Absolutely. She's like, first of all, you would never leave. That's what she kept saying. I was like, I'm glad you know that.
See?
You know
that's
that.
good. That's good.
Now, with the budget of $100 million, did you ever get nervous with that much over your head at all?
No, because it's like, in LA we have 99-cent stores. Do you all have that?
Yeah,
you go. But nothing's 99 cents.
Family Dollar, Dollar
Yeah,
General.
Family Dollar, Dollar General, all those.
Yep.
And so that's one of my favorite places to go. Like, literally to this day, if you go into dollar stores,
it's so much fun.
My thing. And so, it's like going into the dollar store, not with $1, but like with $100. Ain't nothing wrong. You spending, you enjoyed yourself, you have an idea for something, you can make it happen. And, so it wasn't any kind of pressure or any kind of problem in the studio. Wanted to make a film for that amount, and I was happy to make it for that amount. Yeah, I could do that for you.
What do you prefer, big budget or small budget?
You know what? At the end of the day, it's not different when you're running out of hours and the sun is going down and you still don't have your shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, or the actor's just not connecting with it, or you know, at the end of the day, all of the bells and whistles around it don't make a difference to what actually is happening between the actors in front of the camera. So I like that I can do both. But I feel like I like the mid-range films. Like on Selma, we had no money.
About $20 million.
That ain't no money.
Yeah, not for a huge.
Okay.
film like that.
No, it's not. $20 million is $20 million. That was a period piece, so everybody had to be in period dress and costumes. You were doing beatings, marches, riots, all that stuff. $20 million is the same amount of money they make like small romantic comedies with, where just folks just sitting in rooms talking.
Gotcha.
And we were trying to do all this scale with it, so it's not a lot. I remember one time like on the big scene where they have the assault on the bridge. In real life, there were like 57 horses. And on the day I showed up, they were like, yeah, we have 7 horses. I was like, how did this happen? They were like, yeah, we don't have any money.
Horses cost that much?
Yeah, horses cost a lot of money.
Yeah. Are you feeling any pressure because Black Panther made so much money? Do you think Disney's looking at you like, okay, you're the queen?
No, because it's a Marvel superhero movie.
Absolutely.
This is a kids movie. That's the thing. This is a kids movie, like for 8 to 14-year-olds.
Yes.
True, you've seen it. It's for the little ones. It's for young people. So that's very different than the Dora Milaje, sexually coming out with their spears to save them. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is about a little girl who just wants to find her daddy. And so no, it's a different thing. I mean, Black Panther costs twice as much as ours, and it's a different kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Black Panther was a cultural moment. This is more of a family moment.
Yeah, it's a family for kids and families, and it's something that we just want to be a classic that's just around for a long time. People may not even catch up to it at the theaters. It's one of those things where maybe it's cable, maybe it's DVD, but I'm happy that it's in the world.
I was reading an old LA Weekly article about you from 2012, and you said that often films that are deemed positive, nobody wants to see them. But you do positive films, so why does your formula work?
I don't know if it works. I mean, Selma made
What do you mean you don't know if it works?
Well, I mean, I think it works in putting out things that matter in the culture, but, it's not like, it makes, $1 quadrillion. Selma was a modest film. Queen Sugar is on a basic cable network. A Wrinkle in Time, you don't make that to make it to have a hit.
I really
you make it
enjoy
because
Queen Sugar. That's my show.
Queen Sugar. It's a small show. Some people watch it, some people don't. But I just think you have to put out positivity in the world, and people will find it. People who are looking for it.
You're doing the Central Park 5 story too.
Yeah, I'm moving to New York.
Really? Okay.
For like 6 months to make Central Park 5.
Hope it's in the summer.
It is.
Okay.
Hell, you think I'll be out here? I can barely handle today.
Hey, let's go. Today's bad though.
Thanks, guys. It's really
But I am excited that you're doing that story. I think that's really important for us to talk about right now, because I remember when all of that happened and all the propaganda that was put out there, even Donald Trump taking out that huge advertisement.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
In the paper about the Central Park 5. What's been your experience talking to?
Yeah, I've been working with the brothers for about 2 years now on it, and researching and getting to know them and writing the script, and yeah, they're remarkable human beings, and their story should be told. It's not a documentary, it's a narrative, so we're casting now. You got to cast them as boys, because they were 13, 14, 15 when it happened, when they were accused and convicted of a crime that they did not commit.
Do you remember that as a kid?
I do. I remember it.
Huge.
I remember it because they kept talking about the word wilding. And I remember, but they called it wilding.
Yeah, wilding.
And I remember watching TV, and I called my cousin who lived here, and I was like, what's wilding? And she was like, it ain't no wilding. It's called wilding, right? Yeah. And they got it wrong. And I remember thinking, golly, they're just like taking our words and putting new meaning onto them. Cause they said that wilding meant packs of black kids who went out doing, it's like, it's just you wilding out. It's not that serious. So I remember that so distinctly. And, so no, all that stuff we explore in the film. Here in New York in the summer.
All right, we got more with Ava DuVernay when we come back. We got to talk about her being a rapper. Yeah, she used to rap. We'll talk about it. Keep it locked. There's Drake up. We still have Ava DuVernay in the building. Charlamagne?
You consider yourself an activist?
I guess so. I mean, I think an activist is just someone who speaks out. Right. Not afraid to say what's on their mind. People do that in all kinds of ways, especially now with social. But yeah, I guess so. Do you consider yourself an activist?
Nah, I don't know if I want that title.
Why? What is it? What are the associations for you?
I think people have a certain expectation when you label yourself an activist, and I may not be at every protest. You know what I mean? I may not be familiar with every cause. Like,
but that's impossible for anyone, even for someone who does consider themselves an activist.
They expect you to be on the front lines of
Do they?
of everything.
I don't know. I mean, I think of a lot of people that I consider you an activist. And I consider a lot of people who aren't necessarily, because now there's other ways to protest than marching, right? And I think it's really just about, if you have a platform, you lift your voice, you know, and so you all do that. You know, sometimes we have to reframe and redefine these words that have become, problematic in some ways. We take them back.
Like the word problematic. Oh,
you guys don't like problematic?
Problematic and woke? I can't.
And you don't like the word diversity.
I don't like the word diversity. I also don't like the word moist. But that's a difference.
Moist? What is that?
Because that's a horrible word. It doesn't even sound good coming out of your mouth.
It sounds good like a cake is moist.
No, it doesn't. That's the worst
word.
Moist
Why do you hate the word moist?
Dude, don't say it. Yeah.
But why?
Oh, it's horrible. I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like when people yawn out loud. Don't yawn out loud, people. Anyone that hears my voice.
That makes you want to yawn now, right?
Don't yawn out loud, like, so that you can hear. That's horrible.
No, I have those little habits. Like, it's a cameraman.
He does that all the time.
Not him, but it's a guy named Steve.
All the time.
He won't blow his nose. I'm like, yo, why you saving your snot? You blow your nose.
He snorts all the time.
Pet peeves. It's serious.
Moist nose.
Now, you interned on the OJ trial.
I did.
Now, how was that?
I was young. I was like 19 years old. I got this job with CBS News. I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, I got this internship with CBS. I'm about to be a journalist. For real. They were like, here's your packet. And it was the address to one of the jurors' houses. And they wanted me to sit outside and just like watch who came and went, look at, see what was going on in the trash, the mail, like just see who came there.
You was like an investigator.
I guess, but there were interns from all the networks sitting out front. So they had like all these young people. Yeah, and we were just looking at each other like, okay. And yeah, no, that made me not get into journalism because I thought I'd be like the black woman Walter Cronkite, and I was like digging through trash. I was like, I'm cool.
You was 19 during the riots?
Yeah,
Why didn't you go out wilding?
Wilding.
You didn't partake in the riots?
Those weren't, the trial and the rebellion were not at the same time.
Rebellion, I like that word. Oh, words matter.
That's what words matter.
Like
Yes. But I was out and about.
You did. That's how you got your first camera to shoot your first.
That's what you got it from. Now I was listening to Sway Show and I realized you were a rapper. A rapper named Eve.
That wasn't even me.
That was you. I heard
but that wasn't me.
Oh, that wasn't you rapping?
No, that wasn't me.
Sway said it was you.
Well,
I'm gonna assume that you were. Obviously, my mic sounds nice, so you were.
I love hip hop. I love it. My first 2 films were about hip hop. 2 documentaries that nobody saw, but yeah, no, I love it. And
I want to see that Roxanne Shante one.
I do. I really want to see it too. It looks good. I just met the actress of that out during Oscar week. Somebody introduced me to her, but that's why I was so stunned when one day I picked up the phone and it was Jay-Z's voice on the other line saying, do you want to do a video? Because Charlamagne could attest, and you all can too now that I'm here. I'm really a nerd, like a big nerd.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm nerdy.
Family Feud video.
I'm nerdy.
I don't think so.
I love it though. I'm just nerdy, right? So
nothing wrong with being a nerd. It's actually
it's nothing wrong with it, Charlamagne.
I think you're cool as that.
Okay. I mean, but nerds can be cool too. So, my thought was, I don't know if I can make something cool enough for them, right? Because I'm not going to have like cars or, not that he makes that, those kind of like or girls or whatever. But yeah, so it was really, really fun to do it, and he gave me a lot of freedom to do it. But it reconnected with me with my love of hip hop. Yeah, now I'm getting calls from everybody to do videos.
To do videos now.
Yeah, it's like, no, I make movies. I was one. I think that might be my first and last, unless Sade wants to make a video.
You still got a lot of connection with hip hop though, because I always say Common should be thanking you every day, because I feel like every award he got is because you put him in the position to get the award.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's my connection to hip hop too.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you also directed 13th, which was critically acclaimed. But do you think it changed anything in the actual judicial system?
Well, unfortunately, I think it could have, but our leadership changed, and so almost everything that we talk about in that has backslid about 5 years. And every year that passes with the current administration, that issue becomes more and more intense. Like, it was a moment where things were kind of progressing slowly, but that's all been reversed now. So it's. I even watched 13th now, and a lot of. Towards the end of the film where we're talking about solutions, a lot of that doesn't even exist anymore.
You're not afraid to speak out ever. Like they always say, oh, you don't want to offend your connects in the industry.
I don't know. Probably there's some things yeah. Like I the other day said, I'm not going to say white people anymore.
You say
Because
colonizers?
No, I'm not going to say white people anymore because whenever I see it in a headline, like whenever I see white people say the words white people, it becomes a headline. Ava DuVernay said white people, and it looks negative. When I'm just talking fact or I'm just talking about whatever.
Gotcha.
So I decided I'm going to say Caucasian people.
Well, your friend over there has another
Right.
term. You want to tell him what you call him?
Oh no.
Well, it depends. If you're a racist bigot, I call you a crack-ass cracker, white devil.
Oh gosh.
If you're a racist bigot, I don't just say
Now,
it
Ava,
as
don't-
a
Please,
general term.
let's delineate that these are coming from Charlotte.
Yes.
From Charlotte. Don't
I cannot
conflate-
co-sign
Don't
that.
say Ava DuVernay.
Yes.
But no, just the idea of of white folks or white people. There's something in the words that whenever I see it associated with my name, I think people automatically feel like I'm saying something negative. So I started saying Caucasian people. It's softer and it's less
Softer.
It is
moister.
just-
It's moist.
It's moist.
but you know, because I talk a lot in terms of white and black and what's going on in cultural politics, and so your point gets obscured by words that are taken in the wrong way. But it's crazy now. We're in a political atmosphere where even saying white people becomes, you know, something that in my industry anyway, people talk about. Like she's talking about white people.
But what's the biggest hurdle that Ava DuVernay faces at this point in the industry?
I don't know. There's no black woman that I can look at and say, oh, I'll do it like her.
Right.
You know?
Because you're that person. For a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
Definitely
black women that I look at and say, wow, their work is incredible, but, you know, the ones before me haven't been given a chance to make films consistently with a certain exposure. So there's no one to look at and say, I'll do it like that. I can look at some black men and I can look at some white women, but there's not a black woman that I can look at, or even a woman of color that I can look at and say, I'll call her and see how to do this.
But
What
what's great is
inspires
you
you?
haven't let that stop you at all.
Yeah, trying to figure it out on my way. Yeah, trying to figure it out on my way.
So what inspires you?
Young people, really. And I wouldn't have said that before. I don't have kids by choice. I'm not a kid person. Never.
You don't want kids?
No, I never
Why not?
wanted. Since I was little, I never wanted kids. My mother said it'll change. I was like, okay, maybe it'll change. Got older. She's like, when you find the right person, I was like, okay, found the right person. Still don't want kids. Like you just.
And that's a
I
big deal
just-
because people act like, because I don't have kids yet either, and I'm not saying I'm not going to, but people act like it's such a big deal. Like, oh, why didn't you do this? Why
Yeah.
aren't you married with kids? What's wrong with you? And
Yeah. I'm better with kids when they don't live with me. And
You can send them back.
that's correct. Yeah,
well,
that's
Emmy has
correct.
5 if you
I
need
got
to
5.
borrow.
Oh, really? Okay.
16, 14, 4, 3.
You might
and
need a
1.
couple for taxes. You know what I mean?
That
but-
tax
but-
bracket right now.
For real. But young people, I still love to be around, especially in this film and even in CP5, you know, those kids, the beginning of the story, they're 13, 14, 15. So I'm looking at a lot of black boys right now for that. And it definitely, they inspire me because I look at them and I say, if we can get it right with them, then by the time, you know, when we're old and we need some taken care of as a country, as a family, as a community, we've got some kids that will understand the legacy that they uphold and understand the things that we need. You create empathetic, solid, strong kids now. So yeah, no, that's what this film is. It's really a love letter to our kids, to focus on the things that matter.
I thought about this with you and Oprah. I was like, if Oprah and Ava had kids, 'cause I read both of y'all didn't want kids, I don't think y'all would be as selfless. I almost feel like the universe needs y'all to, we're like all your children. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Oh, that's kind. That's kind. Yeah, I mean, imagine if she had a kid. First of all, that kid, I mean, what if Oprah had a kid? It's just like, you wouldn't even like that kid. You know, you'd be like, damn, you Oprah's kid. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you'd be so salty with that kid. So yeah, no, I think there's something about it. For me anyway, I just know when I come home at night, like, and it's selfish, I just want to be alone.
We thank you for coming. She has to go, guys. She got things to do.
She's very busy.
places to be.
A regular time
I got
comes
one
out.
question, because you told me once that Asada Secor was your passion project.
Yes.
Are you getting any closer to getting that done?
I really want to do that. No, because Central Park 5 was my current passion, but that's something that I really want to turn my attention to eventually. I first have to get her permission and connect with her. And even if it's not me directing it, I want to support that film being made. Do you know the story?
Yeah.
I mean, her life is incredible, and it would be an incredible film.
Is that legal? Can you talk to her? Because she's a quote-unquote so-called fugitive?
She's not a fugitive.
She's not? I thought she was.
I thought she was
Yeah, I thought she's a
But she's
fugitive in
hiding
Jersey.
people.
I think they still got warrants for her in Jersey.
That's what I thought. I don't know.
They call her a fugitive.
Yeah, I don't think she's a fugitive.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
what's the word for that?
What's her word for
No,
it?
what's the word?
What's our word?
Yeah.
I don't know. Freedom fighter, revolutionary, mother of the revolution.
There you
go. So heck yeah, we could talk to her, and people have. I just need to make the pilgrimage and see what she wants, and thank you for reminding me because I definitely want to do that.
Word.
Yeah.
Let's put it into the universe.
I feel like I haven't been hip hop enough, cool enough. I feel like I
Stop.
haven't been fun enough,
Stop.
controversial enough.
No.
All right, well,
I wanted you guys to say something crazy to me, and I walked out.
All right, rap.
I just dropped.
We want you to rap
No,
right now.
thank you and goodbye, everybody. Had a good time with you.
You sure you want something controversial?
No, I
you
just
sure you want
no.
She's
She's kidding, guys. Just kidding. She's kidding.
Bye, folks.
Wrinkle in Time out this
Wrinkle
Friday.
in Time. Take your children.
This
Yes.
Friday, go check it out. A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ava DuVernay. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. We are the Breakfast Club.
Hey, salute the Queen Ava DuVernay for coming through.
Absolutely.
Wrinkle in Time is in theaters today. Take your kids, man. It's the perfect daddy-daughter date. Me and my daughter saw it.
Now, if you don't have kids, then what? Just go see it or no?
You might look a little weird in there by yourself.
Gotta go support, though. Gotta go support somehow, some way.
I mean, I think it's important for people to go and support, so more of these movies get made and support Ava DuVernay.
Absolutely.
Listen, I
you
love
got
you
nieces, nephews.
I love Ava
God
DuVernay.
kids.
Ava DuVernay is a
Can
light.
you go on a date to go see it?
Yeah, you go on a date. Yeah, you go on a date.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to have kids to go, right?
It's better if I think kids will enjoy it though.
Okay.
A lot more than an adult would. You'll enjoy it if you take your kids with you. But I will say, Ava makes me want to be a better human being.
That's
Absolutely.
good. We appreciate that.
All right, well, let's get to the
You should bring her up here
rumors.
once a week.
Let's talk Richard Pryor, son, and the rumors.
This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
So listen up.
Well, yesterday on Showtime at the Apollo, things didn't go so well for Mason Pryor. That's Richard Pryor's son. If you recall, we played this yesterday, and of course it aired yesterday also, but here it was the bombing.
Everybody here in America knows the code. If you get caught cheating, you gotta cut your side thing loose. Donald Trump's still on the phone at the White House talking to Russia. Hello? Hey, no, I want to talk to my man right now. You go get my Putin. Is that you, my Putin? I love you so much. I love the way your name comes off my lips. Boo. Let's have some respect.
Have some respect for yourself and have better
But he
jokes.
said boo.
He said, boo, like you talking to me?
what?
You know who I am?
He earned all those boos.
He
I
did.
don't care who your daddy
Well,
is.
he's still going to stick with it. Here's what he had to say.
This was my first big, opening show. So when I went out there, the first thing I did is I'm looking at the crowd, the lights and everything. I'm like, wow, this is really nice, guys. This is going to go great. And you can kind of tell halfway through that first Donald Trump bit, I'm like, all right, this is taking a really long time to get to the end.
Okay, good. Now you can make jokes about that forever.
Listen,
right?
if at first you don't succeed, you try again. I'm not mad at him.
You
Like,
have to. You
yeah.
gotta go right away.
And
Just
that- 'cause
keep
that-
going.
That's why the boos make you better. The shame of that will make him better.
The funniest part, he said, boo.
He said, you have some
dare you.
respect.
Yeah, we do have respect for your daddy, but not for your jokes.
All right. Well, what's happening next on Netflix? It looks like Barack and Michelle Obama may be getting their own show. Now, according to reports, they're going to produce a series of high-profile shows and provide exclusive content on a global level. The focus of the shows will be on highlighting inspirational stories, but they said one show will have Barack moderate conversations about topics that dominated his time in the White House, things like healthcare and things like climate change. So we'll see.
I'll watch that.
Yeah. I mean, that'll be exciting if this really happens.
They worth about
$500,000. More than that.
Boo! All right. Now, Rachel Dolezal also has a documentary coming to Netflix, and people are outraged over that.
Why?
If you guys remember, Rachel Dolezal was the former president of an NAACP chapter. She was born white, but she
Says she's black.
identifies as black.
Can you do that? Is that?
She did it.
Okay.
So I guess you can do anything you want. So people were going in on Netflix because of this. They said there are
Why?
thousands of fascinating women with incredible stories to tell who deserve attention. She is not one of them.
You out your damn mind. The story of a transracial in America, a white woman who thinks she's black. You tell me a better story.
New York Times columnist Charles M. Blow wrote, "Oh, hell no, when performing blackness gets more attention than actually being black." Well, here is a trailer from this Rachel Dolezal documentary.
I really do not want to focus on this for the rest of my life.
Do you think I do?
Why don't you just let it go away?
When something gets destroyed, you have to rebuild it. It's called rebuilding.
This is gonna affect more than just your life.
Some people read, and what happened affected more than just my life. If somebody has hope, don't take that away from them, because maybe that's all they have.
Trust me, it is going to bite me in the ass.
How old is his son?
He sounds like a mumble rapper, right?
But why y'all acting like y'all not gonna watch this? First of all,
I didn't say it.
We created the monster named Rachel Dolezal. Y'all could have ignored Rachel Dolezal a couple of years ago.
It was too good.
Exactly.
It was too good.
Why y'all acting like y'all not gonna watch this show? Y'all the reason she got the show.
She said that she still identifies as black, and she says race should not be defined by one's DNA, but I guess what you want to identify with.
Don't.
No, boy.
So the show is called The Rachel Divide. That's what that documentary is called.
Well, the beauty of Netflix is you can choose to watch it or you can choose not to watch it. But I just want to know, did she get more than $500,000? That's what I want to know.
They said they didn't even pay her to do it, according to Netflix.
They gave us some money. She ain't do it for free.
See how they do black women? They always they do black women so...
Maybe she is black.
Now she black.
So messed up,
My
man.
goodness.
See how they do them over there?
All right,
Netflix?
well, that will be on Netflix on April 27th.
I'll stand with you now, Monique, on that one.
All right, I'm Angela
Rachel
Yee.
Dolezal need to get her coins.
And that's your rumor report.
How they do black women like that?
Stop it.
I don't want to ever hear you say get coins ever again. Please. Never want to hear you say that.
Why can't I get my coins?
Stop. Please don't say that.
All right, chocolate milk. Who you giving that donkey to?
Listen, we need a 27-year-old Rance Shannon to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him. And guess where Rance Shannon is from, ladies and gentlemen?
The Bronx of Florida.
You already know, Florida. Good morning.
Oh, my goodness. All right. We'll get into that when we come back. Also, we got to talk about what happened on that morning show in D.C. Now, if you haven't heard, the question is, we're going to take it outside of that morning show. 800-585-1051.
The goddamn morning show. Come on, show some respect.
I don't know.
It's Quicksilver and Danny Starr and who else?
They're the fam.
See, you don't even know. He gonna say some respect. You don't even know their name.
I know the people. I don't know the name of the show. The fam.
It's called the fam or the family?
All right, everybody relax. I know Quicksilver.
That's
and
all I know is Quicksilver and Danny Starr. I think the other one's 5'9". But
5'9", there you go.
800.
That's what I just said.
Well,
you didn't.
I said 5'9".
You did not.
Envy, I didn't say that.
I thought he said 5 foot assassin. I didn't think he said 5'9". All right. 800-585-1051. Would you hire someone more attractive than you? We're talking about that when we come back. And also, if you're watching Revolt TV, they got an exclusive. It's David Banner's new single. It's called Magnolia, and it's featuring CeeLo Green. You can see that next on Revolt. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
Donkeys of the Day, ask Charlamagne.
I'm a Democrat, so being Donkey of the Day is a little bit of a mixed blessing.
So like a donkey.
Hee-haw.
Okay. Donkey of the Day. The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Now, I've been called a lot in my 23 years, but Donkey of the Day is a new one.
Yes, Donkey of the Day for Friday, March 9th, the anniversary of the notorious B.I.G.'s death, goes to 27-year-old Rance Shannon of the great state of Florida. Drop one of Clues Bombs for Florida, man. And always remember the key word is Florida. All right, long before Donald Glover and the writers on Atlanta introduced y'all to Florida, man, your Uncle Charlotte for years has been getting on this radio telling you that all the craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. And Rance Shannon is just more evidence that is proving my point. See, Rance Shannon was driving through an accident in Gainesville, Florida. And you know how it is when you're driving through a traffic accident. Everything slows down. And it's nothing worse than having that happen while you're on your way to work. Like for me, I wake up in the morning every day at 4:20. I'm out the crib by 5, and that always makes me feel good because I know if I'm out the crib by 5, I'll be at the station by like 5:45. But nothing worse when you're cruising and you know you about to be more than on time, and then boom, traffic slows to a crawl because of an accident. But here's the thing, all right? Here's the thing. Nothing pisses me off more than people who start blowing the horn and getting agitated when there is absolutely nothing any of us can do about said traffic accident. Okay, in those moments, you just have to remember your serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. When you are caught in traffic because of a traffic accident, you have to be wise enough to know that there's nothing you can do except for let emergency responders do their job. You can blow the horn all damn day, you can scream, you can curse, but it's not going to change anything until emergency responders get done doing what they're doing. But young 27-year-old Rance Shannon, okay, he didn't get that memo. And if it's anybody who should have been patient and been a model citizen, in that moment, due to his circumstances, it was Rance Shannon. But Rance couldn't show discipline in that moment of being in a traffic accident because he's clearly not the highest grade of weed in the dispensary. But it's not his fault because he's from Florida. Would you like for me to reveal why Floridian Rance Shannon is getting donkey today?
Yes, please.
Let's go to WCJB ABC 24 to report, please.
Police arrested a man who honked repeatedly at first responders working on a traffic accident. Police approached 27-year-old Rance Shannon and smelled marijuana coming from his car. They say they found a loaded gun on him and a multitude of drugs, including 5 mason jars of marijuana and nearly 100 grams of cocaine. They also found $10,000 in cash in his waistband.
There were other guns in the car, to include an AK-47 and an AR-15.
Oh, boy.
All of that in the car. So why he decided to alert the police's attention to him by honking his horn is still beyond me.
That news report isn't even telling the whole story. Rance Shannon, a convicted felon, riding dirty, riding filthy. He had a loaded 9mm handgun, over 10 grand in cash, a 4-inch knife, an AR-15, 5 mason jars full of weed and hash, 94 grams of cocaine, 11 grams of amphetamine powder, 16 Xanax and oxycodone pills, and he had another book bag full of weed and edibles, and in the trunk he had 4 more handguns, an AK-47, ammunition, bolt cutters and gloves. Rance Shannon, who in the name of Grand Theft Auto was you going to kill?
Where was he going?
It sounds like you were providing all the drugs in Gainesville, but the fact you were acting like you was doing something normal, like delivering pizza, is so Florida. Drop one of Clues bombs for Florida again. I hate to be the back in my day guy, but back in my day, when you was riding dirty, trafficking drugs or guns, you was cautious as possible. You made sure your tags were straight. You made sure your license and registration was straight. You didn't drive a car that would bring attention to you. That was the whole point when you were riding dirty. You wanted to bring as little attention to yourself as possible. But this Rance Shannon, impatient ass Floridian, keyword Floridian, was riding filthy and decided to start blaring his horn while emergency responders worked at a traffic accident. Can we go to WCJB ABC 20 for the report once more, please? Just play it.
Police arrested a man who honked repeatedly at first responders working on a traffic accident. Police approached 27-year-old Rance Shannon and smelled marijuana coming from his car. They say they found a loaded gun on him and a multitude of drugs, including 5 mason jars of marijuana and nearly 100 grams of cocaine. They also found $10,000 in cash in his waistband.
There were other guns in the car, to include an AK-47 and an AR-15. All of that in the car. So why he decided to alert the police's attention to him by honking his horn is still beyond me.
Why he decided to bring attention to himself when he was riding so dirty is beyond me too. But the answer to that question is simply because he's from Florida. And what do I always tell you? The craziest people come from the Bronx and all of Florida. And all you Floridians who always say to me, Charlamagne, all people from Florida aren't crazy. Well, I'm going to give you the cherry on top of this donkey of the day.
There's more?
There's one more little piece that needs to be added.
Uh-oh.
According to the New York Post, Rance Shannon, after being arrested, told authorities verbatim that he was a nice guy because he could have used the weapons against them.
Whoa.
I repeat, Rance Shannon, after being arrested for all of this stuff, told authorities verbatim that he was a nice guy because he could have used the weapons he got caught with against them. Florida, ladies and gentlemen. Florida. Please let Remy Ma give Floridian Rance Shannon the biggest hee-haw.
Wow.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
He's very dumb.
Florida. No, he's very Florida.
All right.
You know, Florida.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today.
Florida.
Now, when we come back, we have to talk about what happened on Quicksilver. Shout out to him, his morning show, which is in D.C. It's
The Fam
called
in the Morning.
The Fam in the Morning with 5'9" and Danny Starr. Now, to the people, what happened, Yee?
Well, apparently, to get a new nanny because her nanny quit on her unexpectedly. She has 2 kids. And they talked about it on the show.
Okay.
And one woman had DM'd her. She was a very beautiful, attractive woman. And she said, I would never hire this woman as a nanny.
Because she was attractive.
Because she was too attractive. And she said she had a history. Her father cheated on her mom before.
With the babysitter, right?
Right. And her own husband had cheated. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she's scarred. She's insecure, rightfully so.
So then what happened?
So I guess they went behind her back, allegedly, and called this woman up to the show. And the woman, as Danny said, ambushed her. The whole show ambushed her.
On air, and they had a
air.
big argument on it. We have a clip of it. Let's play a clip of it.
I am not insecure, okay? I have been cheated on. I have been very open and vocal about my stuff. But I get to decide what happens in my household, okay? My daddy slept with a babysitter, so I know my situation.
Danny, you are insecure. You're suffering from post-traumatic side chick disorder. Happens to the best of them.
Right. So we're asking 800-585-1051. Would you hire an attractive person to work for you?
Would you, Envy?
In my house? Mm-hmm. My house and regular life is differently. My house, no.
He's talking about in this situation.
Hell no. I'm not.
Okay.
No.
You know you calling your nanny ugly right now. I just want you to know that.
Oh, I thought you meant like a...
Nah, nigga. You just called your nanny ugly.
I thought you meant like when I hire
No.
a man to work in my house. A
nanny ugly.
A manny. Okay. Would you hire an attractive...
My nanny is gorgeous.
I didn't ask you that. I said, would you have...
Why are you looking at the nanny like
an
that?
attractive nanny. She's amazing looking. I love her. Great human being as well. What?
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
All right.
Out here calling your nannies ugly.
I didn't say. You know what?
You know what? Go home and look at her.
You know what?
Would you mind hiring somebody like a man to do the lawn or something like that look like Trey Songz?
I look like Boris Kojo. Or Morris Chestnut.
Or Michael B. Jordan.
I'm going to be honest with you. I almost said something racist just now. And that's how I know I'm growing up.
So you know what? 800-585-1051. Call us now. I don't want to hear it. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. 1051. Ladies, would you hire an attractive babysitter or nanny to take care of your kids? That is the question. Charlamagne said he has no problem with it. I do. I'm sorry. I don't want an attractive female. I don't want an attractive male. It's just.
Why not an attractive female?
Basically, you calling your nanny and babysitters ugly right now. That's what you're doing. Yes,
you're saying they're not attractive.
You're saying they're not attractive. That's what you're saying.
They are.
That's exactly what you just said.
They are attractive.
My nanny is very attractive, and I appreciate her so much for caring for my kids. So I don't know.
If you had to compare her to an actress, who would she?
Yeah, which one would you?
Sofia Vergara.
Okay.
Okay. Who's this?
Oh, this is Michelle.
Hey, Michelle. Would you hire an attractive babysitter?
Hell no.
Whoa, Michelle.
See, why not? Why not, Michelle?
That's just wise. You don't put no attractive female in the house to show man. You just don't do that.
This is messed up, man. I'm going to tell you why this is messed up. Y'all about to give babysitters and nannies a complex. All the ones that get hired going to think they ugly as hell.
So you
need a job, right? Everybody needs a job.
Thank you, Michelle. Hello, who's this?
Victoria.
Hey, Victoria. Would you hire an attractive babysitter or nanny?
Yes, I would.
Oh, you wouldn't mind?
I wouldn't mind because, one, nowadays you can't tell if it's going to be a man or a woman. And two, I just
What'd you say? What'd you say?
This went left.
You said you
can't tell if it's a hot woman. Okay, say it's a woman that's an attractive nanny. How do you not know it's really a man?
All right, I'm not playing that game with you.
Where are you from? Sound like Alabama.
I'm from Jersey originally, but in Florida.
Okay, now I get it. All right,
All right,
I'm sorry, Alabama.
Yeah.
I would never compare y'all to Florida. I just knew something was off a little bit. Florida explains it all.
Hello, who's this?
What's going on? First of all, good morning. My name is Cheyenne. To be honest, it just depends on the person's self-control, you know? You could think somebody's good-looking, but that doesn't mean you have to act on it, you know? Because I'm around a whole bunch of good-looking people a day. You know, it's just all about how you carry yourself and if you're really true to your significant other.
But it's probably different. Somebody that's in the house all the time.
It's way different. Somebody in the house than opposed to working at a business.
What he's saying is true, though, man. I mean, it ain't about whether or not the nanny is attractive. It's about you. Like, you know.
If you're attractive?
No, I'm saying you can't just be pushing up on the nanny.
No, you definitely can't. But I'm talking about a man. I wouldn't want an attractive man working in my house doing anything. I'm sorry, not for me.
Does that mean that you're insecure?
Yes.
Okay.
I just want everybody who ever goes to work on anything at DJ Envy's house, from the pool people to the lawn people, he thinks you ugly. That's the only reason you're employed there.
Shut up, man. 800.
His manager, June.
Wow, 800. Bad enough that you looking down on people from your estate. Now you calling the people that work there ugly?
I didn't say that.
Wow,
800-585-1051. Would you hire someone attractive to work in your home? It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. 585-1051. Would you hire someone attractive to work in your home? Hello, who's this?
This is Jessica from D.C.
Hey, Jessica. Would you hire someone attractive to work in your home, a babysitter or nanny?
So I'm actually a nanny in the D.C. area, and I caught the show later on in the day. But basically, I don't think she's insecure. I think that she has the choice to hire whoever she wants in her home. As a nanny and as a woman that's been through something like that before, that's up to her to guard her household. And a nanny job is so personal day to day. It's not like you're going into a workplace. Even quitting a nanny job for a nanny is hard because it's so personal. So I don't blame her at all.
But, by the way, you're wrong. She is very insecure. She's suffering from post-traumatic side chick disorder. She said her father slept with the babysitter and her man cheated on her with like a sitter or something. She's definitely insecure about that.
Now let me ask you a question.
Is that learning from your past, Charlamagne?
Now let me ask you a question. You worked in many houses before. Has a husband ever kicked it to you or pushed up on you?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
And if they did, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I would have to leave. I'm about to start my own nanny agency in the business in the area. So I'm kind of like, this is crazy right now.
So do you
whoever you have come into your household, that is your decision. No matter what, whether it's a friend, a worker, a guy.
Right, you can decide that you want to hire an attractive nanny.
Well, listen, when you solicit for nannies...
No, I'm not an ugly girl. Let me just say that. I've been a nanny for 7 years.
You sound ugly.
Cute.
Listen, when you solicit for nannies...
She doesn't. She sounds cute.
Do you put must be ugly as a prerequisite?
No.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay. It's not even a matter really about the looks. It's about who gets connected to the kids.
And who's qualified. We need some qualifications.
Who knows how to handle the kids. Hello, who's this?
Good morning, this is Erica.
Hey, Erica, would you hire someone attractive to work in your crib?
As a nanny?
No. Me and my husband have this debate all the time. He say when we have a housekeeper, she gonna be a little young, fine friend. I say she gonna be an old lady named Olga from Sweet. I'm not gonna have no young, attractive person walking around in my house. It's my house. It's my say.
There you go.
That's right. Just watch the hand that rocks the cradle.
Walking around being our nanny.
First of all, I would never hire a young nanny, but it would have nothing to do with looks. I wouldn't hire a young nanny just because I don't like all of that social media stuff, and I just don't feel like a young person would be focused on my children the way that they need to. I just think an older person is better. I personally love older babysitters, older nannies.
I've had older nannies and I've had younger nannies. This nanny's around 30 years old, and she is the best nanny that I've had so far. She handles the kids amazing when I'm not there, and she's great. So I have no problem.
Yeah, it's probably more about personality.
Definitely about
personality.
Take them out, run around with the kids. She's not into social media, not like that.
And I got requirements. When I wanted a nanny, I wanted a woman from the Caribbean, and that's what I got.
Okay. Hello, who's this?
Good morning. My name is Uju from Houston, Texas.
Hey, good morning, Mama. Now, we're talking, would you hire someone attractive to be a nanny or a babysitter?
Absolutely. I have a nanny for my daughter, and she's Brazilian. She's young. She's beautiful. I believe I am a beautiful person, so I don't want to be surrounded by people who are not. I don't think that you should judge someone just strictly how they look and their work ethics. If you find somebody who you can trust with your child, who you can, go out and not feel like somebody's going to harm your child regardless of how they look, then you should go ahead and consider that person. If you have a fine man who wants to cut your grass and he does a great job edging the lawn, then why would you stop him from doing what he's good at?
Right, I'm going to give him a bonus, too.
Then go ahead and open the window while he cuts the grass.
No,
however,
that's right.
No, because they be cutting the grass with their shirts off sometimes.
If you do have somebody who you truly feel is going to interrupt your relationship because of how they look, then then that's going to be on you to make the better decision. Maybe have somebody who doesn't look as beautiful as yourself in order to take care of whatever needs you have around your home.
Well, thank you, Mama.
It's really individualized.
Thank you. What's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is stop calling your nannies and babysitters ugly, all right? This is disgusting. I am so offended this morning that all of y'all called up here and just called all your babysitters and nannies ugly. That's what I got from this whole conversation.
Nobody said that. My whole thing is your house, whatever makes you comfortable in your house.
I want all you babysitters and nannies to go to your respective places today and look people in the eye and say, oh, you think I'm ugly? I want you to ask the people that you are employed with, do you think I'm ugly?
Shut up.
All right?
Yeah, we got rumors on the way?
Yes, O.J. Simpson, we've been telling you about this show that's coming out on Fox on Sunday. We have some more from his lost confession.
All right, we'll get into that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk about a hit TV show that is getting a movie now.
It's about time.
What's going on?
Rumor report. This is The Rumor Report.
Talk to him.
With Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
That's right, girlfriends. I'm kidding, Charlamagne. It's actually the Sopranos.
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
Did you see his face?
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
Why you almost got whiplash turning your head.
I was like, what?
Oh, my goodness.
I just want to see if Charlamagne was paying attention.
Jesus. No, was he?
All right, it's actually The Sopranos.
Okay.
And they're going to do a prequel.
Sopranos was dope, man.
They're doing a prequel
Sopranos was dope.
And listen to what it is, though. Okay, the working title right now is The Many Saints of Newark. So it's actually going to be based in Newark. It's set in the 1960s in the riots between the African American and Italian communities. So it's going to have some of the characters from the original series.
Yeah, but Tony Soprano's dead.
It would be a younger version of him because it's a prequel. He wouldn't have to be in it, guys. Duh.
All right.
It's in the 60s.
I'll watch it, but I'm not necessarily interested. That's not something I was clamoring for. You know?
Nah, that's been
a
over
big
too
fan
long.
of The
I was a big
Sopranos.
fan too, but it's over.
Girlfriends,
That's why
man.
it's a prequel, though. I mean, Sex and the City did their movie.
F Sex in the City too. I want a Girlfriends movie.
All right. Well, sorry. That's not here yet.
Marab Rakakil, I'm telling you, I don't know you, but we got beef.
Marab
Rakakil, I love you, but we got beef until I get closure. We gonna get closure before we all die.
Okay, another movie that's coming is the Dapper Dan biopic. I like to see he's getting his just due now. He's got his story in Harlem with Gucci, and now he has a movie. Sony's developing the film, and it's actually going to be produced by Gerard Carmichael.
Drop on the clues bombs for my guy Gerard Carmichael. I like that. I'm trying to figure out the connection though, but I'm not mad at it. You know, whoever can get the story done can get the story done. You know.
Right. So it should be pretty exciting. If you don't know who Dapper Dan is, he was the one who would customize brands like Louis Vuitton and Gucci for all the stars. And when you saw people wearing that, and then Gucci actually came back and made some of those, stealing his ideas of him using their prints. So he posted the news on Instagram. Dapper Dan said, "It's time to tell all. From growing up with holes in my shoes and swimming in the Harlem River to crossing the River Nile in Africa in search of my identity, I came from nothing, and God has blessed me with a partnership with Gucci, a book deal with Random House, and now a movie deal with Sony Pictures. Harlem and Africa, through the grace of God, have shaped my life."
I wonder if he's going to show the Mike Tyson fight in his store. Mike Tyson beat up
I think that was in front of the store,
Green.
wasn't it? It was
in the store.
In the store?
Yeah, it was in the store.
I can't imagine how you couldn't have that.
You got to have that in.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Now, Khalees has reportedly bought a farm. She plans to cultivate her own produce. So that's actually, if you can do that, an excellent idea. Nothing more natural than that. She said, in the past year, I've kind of felt like I need a restaurant. I need a space where I can actually be creative and I can do this on a daily basis. That being really necessary for me. So she said, let's do a farm. We started looking for a farm. We found a property and we're going to start to grow everything.
That's dope. She's putting Nas's money to good use, man.
Didn't he just get like $40 million, they said, from that?
He did. He invested in that, what was that thing from Shark Tank?
It was the doorbell thing.
The doorbell joint that Amazon bought.
All right. And O.J. Simpson. Remember we were telling you about the Lost Confession. It was an interview that was filmed where it was based on that book, If I Did It, where he discusses the 1995 murder trial. Well, that is going to air on Fox at 8 p.m. on Sunday if you guys want to watch it. And here's another snippet of O.J. Simpson doing his Lost Confessions, where he says he met Nicole while she was working at a restaurant and he was still in a relationship.
A place called The Daisy. It's a little breakfast place. And I ran into a friend of mine. He said, let's have breakfast. And when we walked in, this vision turned to me and said, hey, where do you want to sit? And I remember thinking, what a gorgeous girl, but I can't deal with this. So 3 days later when I came back, I went back into the Daisy and was having lunch with the owner, and she came back in. And I said, man, I would really like to take this girl out. And he called her over and introduced us and, said, this is one of the good guys.
And you were together from then on?
Well, yeah, I had to take her, before we went to the party, I had to explain to her that I was married.
Pretty creepy, guys.
I think everybody involved in this is going to hell. I think everybody involved in the production of this, Judah Freakin that did the interview, and I love Judah Freakin, but you all are accomplices to some BS. You know what I'm saying? Like, he shouldn't be allowed to get that off.
All right.
And if somebody from the Cold Simpsons family claps him or something, they got every right to.
Well, supposedly the family is supporting this now.
But they want to see, they want to understand why and how.
Yeah, because when they clap him, they want us to understand why they clapped him.
All right, and last but not least, I'm sure we all saw this coming, but Michael Smith is going to host his last edition of ESPN Sports Center today. So
really?
That's it. His exit is a little more than a month after Jemele Hill left to join the Undefeated. Now, he still has years left on his contract with ESPN, so it looks like he's going to move into a different capacity at the network.
They had a good thing going, man.
Yeah, but you know what? They should have never put them on the 6. And if they was going to put them on the 6, they should have let them do the same thing that they was doing on His and Hers. His and Hers was unique. It was funny. I used to love the sketches that they did. That was their thing. Their fingerprints was all over that. But they moved into the 6, and the white people didn't like it because the white people didn't want black people hosting sports in prime time like that. And
and they had even said there was a time that we weren't even talking to each other during the broadcast anymore. No more Michael and Jemele, not less, not here and there. No more Michael and Jemele talking, no more of their commentary. It's just strictly live shots and analysts. That's what pissed me off so much.
Yeah, don't tell me that you love me and then put me in a position and tell me to change everything about me. You love my game. You love how I play. But now that I'm in this position, you want me to change my game totally. That
was whack. Yeah, that was definitely whack.
All right, well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
All right, well, shout to Revolt. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody else, it's all about the Notorious B.I.G. The greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th, and we're going to get on a Biggie mix. Let me know your favorite big joint. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.